Hey Emily, I took a look at your file. Just a couple of things. The shank obviously is great. That's fine. It'll be nice and sturdy. Um, First thing when working with an emerald cut, just make sure that you measure the distance on the actual emerald cut from here to here, and make sure those match, because emerald cuts, they'll vary in how much of that corner is cut off. So sometimes you'll do a project, because matrix measures the stone from here to here and here to here, and that's what it will bring out standard. But if your stones can vary greatly even with those dimensions, depending on how much of this corner is cut off. So let's say the corner it isn't cut off this far and it's out here, your stone won't fit in the prongs. So just do a quick measurement from here to here and make sure that your virtual stone matches your actual stone. You probably did that, so that's like the stupidest thing to get nailed on, because it's easily preventable. I took a look at these prongs. That should be sturdy enough. This type of setup, just because I did repairs for so long and saw so many things come in broken, it couldn't hurt to make this a little bit thicker going this way to just give it a little bit more strength. It just is a precaution. I mean, I know you're about 1 millimeter this way and about 1.5 millimeters that way, but when you look at this halo, it's up on its own with no other support, and also there's a shelf here that can get caught, and so it'd be easier. This ring would be easy to damage in that respect. So just knowing that the geometry of it, and there's nothing wrong with the way that it's laid out as far as the styling, but just for durability, I would go ahead and just make that a little bit wider from here to here. And it's interesting when I look at it from this angle, it almost looks like it's thicker from here to here, and then it gets a little narrower. Always envision this as like a tree trunk. Like, as this comes down to the base, make it thicker. So see if you can go ahead and get that a little bit bigger. Now, of course, they're not going to be able to put a flat band with that, but I'm sure you went over that with the client. But the big thing that I see with this is your stones are really close together. And, yeah, you can get it laid out in matrix that way, but, if you go back to your gemology training, if you ask for a 1.2 millimeter stone, that stone could be anywhere between like 1.18 and 1.23. So just envision, like, if your stone, I mean, that's still 1.2, they're going to start colliding. I mean, that's still considered a 1.2, and what breaks a diamond is a diamond. So, and then remember too, like, after this gets cast and everything, there's usually about a 7% shrinkage rate, depending on the mass of the piece. It's not always the same, but you can always count on, this whole piece snapping back a little bit. So that makes things even smaller. Don't let the customer bully you into making these touching, because they're looking at this when actually the piece looks like that. So all that being said, gosh, the geometry of an emerald cut halo, it's just a nightmare, right? Because you have to fill this space with something. So, and gosh, doesn't it seem, it does seem like it would be good to have two here, because then you've got the one prong in between, and that can kind of share the setting area. But you got to get these stones either smaller or farther apart. It just has to be. And so one way that you can do that is you can exaggerate the the end here, like you can make this flare out even more and then move these over. But what you'll probably do if you want to stick with 2 stones here, let's see, can I turn these on? Nope. What you'll have to do, and this is just so tricky with halos because now look, so you need 4 stones there, right? That's what you're thinking. And you don't want them to be like nothing. Okay, so what you can do, alright, let me just get rid of these because we know what we're doing with those, right? Alright. Keep in mind how big all of this is. Alright, and now, I mean, the distance from here to here is what? Not even 1/2 millimeter. So, that'd be nice if I could see it. Huh. Yeah, 1/3 of a millimeter. Okay, so this is what I would do. Because they're going to kick this back to you. They're either going to like tell you need smaller stones through here, or they're going to try and set them, and you're going to have broken stone after broken stone, because once these girdles start colliding, the stones are just going to break as they go in. So do this. Take this whole row, pull it out. Take this whole row. Whoops. I don't know what I did. What did I do that for? Pull this out just a little bit. And I know that you're like, oh, it looks like it's so much. It's not. Because think about it, like you're going to have like your little prongs in here and stuff, so it's all going to flash. Or you use bigger stones and you use 3. Okay, but anyways, we'll chase this first. So if you do that, can you get these? The question is, if you pull these out, then can you get them? Ideally, gem on curve would be on, but that's okay. You want them you need that much space in between them. I hate to tell you that, but that 0.2 millimeter default that Matrix puts on stones is near perfect. You know what? Pull this out. Who cares? There's a huge prong right here, right? Where's that prong that I deleted? No, it's back there somewhere. Go grab it again. Hold on. Let's see. Temporary. Holy cow! What's in here? Jeez. Okay. Let's see this guy. Alright. I shouldn't have deleted that prong. Okay. Okay, you have a prong here anyways, so don't worry too much about shoving those stones as close as you possibly can. Just make this guy a little bit bigger. Alright, now you got enough. Now, here's your... Gosh darn it, this is such a problem area. I hate these corners. Alright, let me see if this will work. Sometimes they showed this to us at the symposium. If you hold down Shift and Control, you should be able to pick these 2 lines right here. And gosh, my gumball's in the wrong place, but yeah, there you go. Hehe, that's cool. Just pull that out a little bit. Actually, can I bet you if I hold down Control, okay, hold down Control and Shift, click these 2 lines, and that'll allow you to edit it. But I wonder if I can change my gumball. I think I can. Ooh, cool. Alright, so let me just do this real quick. Whoops. How do I want to do this? I think I'll go here, here, to there. Yeah, that's good. Okay. So you can click those 2 lines. Actually, it doesn't really matter how you get to this point. Like if you need to like redraw the whole thing, whatever. But you gotta pull that corner out. And if you if you want, you can also scale it back. You know, that's not going to work. But now your stones, okay, so now you can actually do something with those stones. So now you can, sometimes I hate the gumball. I'll just go with MSR. There we go. Now you can pull those stones and give them the room that they need to rest properly in your area there. They're just packed in too tight, and so it's gonna, you might as well, and that's the thing, the setter is either gonna put smaller stones in there and not tell you, or he's gonna break your stones when he puts them in. So you might as well either lay out smaller stones or bump your halo out 0.2 millimeters to get enough room in there. And so I didn't change that much. Of course, this is all wonky now because I changed that, but that's not that hard to fix. That's how you need the spacing. You need more spacing through here. You just got to have it. This is never going to work. So get that changed. You know, or if you don't want to change your halo, just make these little teeny tiny 1.1, 1.0. Get those in there correctly. But you know, halos, you're going to play around with halos till, you know, kingdom come, trying to make them work. And when you get these fixed areas like this, where you know you put a curve, an octagon curve, and the gems don't flow on there evenly, and then you're like, do I put 3 here or 4 here? If I put 4 there, I have to make them 1 millimeter. If I put 3 there, actually, you know what? Just for kicks, like how many? Here, let's see. Dun, dun, dun. What size would you have to use if you needed to put 3 stones there? Because if it's like 1.5, 1.5 is still really small. Like if you're doing a petite halo, you know what? Do that. Look at that. That's beautiful, that spacing in there. That's exactly what you want to see. So, you know, if you don't have to be committed to using this size, what the heck? Just use 1.5s through there, and then on your corners, you probably still have to use whatever size it was that we had laid out there. Or maybe not. Maybe can you use, let's see, can you put 1.5 on the side? Maybe. I don't know. Try that. But yeah, so everything looks good. It's just make your prong a little bit heavier where it meets the shank. And, geez. I don't know. You could, okay, so here's the thing. So you know that you have to use different size stones on the corners. The geometry is just almost always not going to let you put the same size stone all the way around, right? So when you put the stones on the side, you don't want them to be that much different in size, though. So if you're using 1.5s here, you probably want to use, like if you can get away with it, no less than 1.3s. Otherwise, it just gets, you know what, you can't actually do that. I bet you that'll look really nice. Do 1.5s and then do 1.3s on the corners, and look at how much better your spacing looks. Now you've got, your setter can like have room to breathe, you know, and like those stones are going to go in. You're never going to see like a big chunk of space in between them. I mean, it's so small, but then the stones won't break. So that would be my review for your file, now that I've completely destroyed it, torn it apart. But yeah, I would definitely work on the halo. Now, a couple of things. These angles look beautiful, you know, so that when you're looking at the ring from here, these stones are looking at you. They're not completely flat. I love that. Your prongs looked really good. Where they were resting on the stone. I thought that looked fine. Let's bring out the original again. Jeez, it's running slow. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, here it goes. Your main stone setting area looks just fine. You know, your problematic area is the shelf, which is fine as long as your prongs are a little bit thicker. Give the customer her best possible chance of having this ring for, you know, an extremely long period of time without any hassle, and without you having any hassle either, having to fix it later. And your depth here, it looked pretty good. However, if you are going to cut prongs away from this, you still, like, okay, so let's say you take these stones and you do micro prong cutter. Ah, geez. Wait, oh wait, I know what I did. Wait. Huh. Alright, so let's say you're, why is this straight, is that straight across? Okay. Okay, so let's say you, like, you know, cut little seats underneath here. Do your little micro prong cutter, usually like right about there. Okay, the distance from the bottom of that U to this floor, it's got to be 1 millimeter. Don't make it any thinner than that. Otherwise, what happens is that these are weak points, so you'll get cracking through here, especially because the bottom of this is not attached to anything. So it's, you know, this whole piece is only as strong as these connections down here. And so just imagine your setter trying to pound prongs down on here, and this whole structure can basically get pounded down because the only thing that's holding it there are these. So I would, you know, the way you have it set up, you know, you can make this design work, but just make sure you've got 1 millimeter here, and make these just a little bit more beefy as they come through here, and you need a little bit more space in between the stones. Okay? All right, thanks, Em. That's your review.